Hey, guys, welcome to the patio. We got a lot to talk about today. There's been another deadly shooting in a Texas mall. Black Lives Matter is protesting in New York City, but maybe we need to talk about why. Does that really make a lot of sense? Joe Biden, is he going to pardon hunters? That is the only reason he's president of the U.S.? Let's talk about that some. King Charles, we got a new king of England. King Charles, the queen is dead. Hopefully Fortenberry loves the queen this much. Bud Light's got even bigger problems. But before we get into all of that, let's talk about the important stuff. Father Fortenberry, how are you this lovely morning?
I'm under the weather. I am feeling poorly.
I would ask if Bud Lights are involved, but I'm afraid you might answer that question.
Is it due to natural causes?
Natural causes, that's it.
Yeah, it's not natural light, natural causes.
Good morning, Gary.
Good
How
morning.
are you this fine morning?
I'm doing fine. How you doing? You doing good?
I'm doing good.
Doing
I think
We need to show the empty chair where Marty would be.
Yeah.
All right, we'll show that real quick.
We got two
Or
empty chairs.
Donnie or Marty would normally be sitting there, but they're not around today. They will be back. We'll probably actually potentially have all to us in the studio on
Thursday's drop. Yes.
Thursday's drop. So it's going to be a crowded room, but
ready to get everybody back.
We're ready to get everybody back. Yeah, you're right. Ready to get everybody back at it. I'll be actually traveling as well this week, headed to the Northeast. It's a little bit cooler up there, guys. I just found out today. But let's jump right in. There was another deadly shooting in a Texas mall. You guys were kind of busy. We're recording this on Sunday, which is odd for us, so there'll probably be more information out by the time this drops. But there was a shooting in a Texas mall yesterday, on Saturday. Don't really know much about the shooter other than he lives with his mom and dad. Unfortunately, are we surprised by this anymore?
No, not at this point. That's surprising.
Nope.
I haven't even seen this on the news. I haven't watched the news. I've been busy.
How old was this person?
They're not releasing anything.
I mean, it could be
point. Now, by the time this comes out on Tuesday, there's going to be more information. So you guys probably know more about it now than we do. But there's just not much out there on this.
I mean, I'd feel different about it if it was a 12-year-old versus a 30-year-old living with their mom or parent. That'd be completely different. Like my take on it would be completely different.
I think if it's an adolescent, they're not going to say it lives with his mom.
Well, maybe. Well, I mean, it's truthful.
Okay, now here it is. The outlet, the home is where the suspected 30-something-year-old lives with his parents.
Okay, so this guy, it's not like.
So you're profiling, Gary.
I'm age profiling.
You're profiling that 30-year-old guys that live with their mom, single, not a house full of kids. Now, sometimes you got enough kids, you got to find a place to stay and live with mom and dad.
Now you're profiling because it didn't say he was single living with his parents. You just assumed he
was
single living with his parents.
I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say two things are accurate. He plays video games, a lot of video games. He doesn't have many friends. And he is single. Okay, three things. I'm going out on a limb here. With those three things. Those three things. That's what I'm guessing. Do you guys think I'm wrong?
I think he's probably very popular. Probably a outdoorsy type guy.
Well, okay, so they've talked to neighbors. Neighbors said that he could see the guy going to and from the house in an outfit that suggested a security role. So he had a job. Neighbors added that both the man and his gray Dodge Charger had frequently been missing in recent weeks. These nosy neighbors, they don't think, you don't think they're watching you, but they know everything.
Oh, yeah, they do.
They know everything going on.
Yeah, I don't watch my neighbors. I just
here's what else they said. Very quiet, but did not notice certain unusual and quiet behavior.
How do you?
Did they say how many people were shot?
8 died. Let's see how many were shot.
That's a lot of people. That's a large shooting.
That's a mass shooting.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was at a strip mall too, wasn't it?
No, well, it was a big mall. I'm not sure if it was a strip mall or what kind.
But I mean, I think it just goes back to the.
Did they not? Don't malls have security? Or was he the security at the mall?
Because it did say he was dressed up in security.
I haven't heard that yet, but I know that there were police there very quickly on site.
But yeah, I mean, if he is security at the mall, that could explain why there was that much damage before police arrived. I don't know. I mean, we're speculating because this obviously.
Well, obviously it's going to hit big news because it's always about a gun debate. Why don't we talk about morality debate? Let's have a morality debate.
Nobody wants to talk about morality because that's a issue that we can all change.
So, but you, I mean, this is, but the problem is, I'm gonna stutter a little bit.
That's okay. Keep bobbing over there.
Point over here. but all I've heard start yesterday or last night was about gun control. How much longer are we gonna allow people to die due to gun control? The governor of Texas has come out and said he will not support any additional gun rules, but he really wants to get into mental health. But it's really about teaching morality. I think, I think Gary's right. I think we spend too much time trying to teach people not to have morals.
All right. In general. Here's something. Here's an idea. Let's pretend we put 1,000 guns in here of all different sorts. Do you think one of them will kill us?
Not unless we pick it up.
Or knock it over.
Oh, okay.
Or load it.
Or load it. If you don't load it,
don't load it. But look, guns bad. Well, apparently,
I think that the sign that it is a morality issue is 60 years ago you could mail order a gun.
Yeah,
you could just
like a bride.
Go to the back of a catalog, order it to your house, pay give a check to the delivery guy.
I had heard an interesting take the other day, and it talked about the more that we ban guns, the more that we take guns out of kids. Kids used to have to, apparently in the 50s, 60s, maybe even 70s, 80s, they'd have to take weapons or how to use a rifle in school and gun safety.
Because as you walk to school, you may have to get that day's dinner. Deer walks across pain. That's how it works.
I don't know about that, but
that's how it works.
Yeah. I get your point. Yeah,
I'm not so sure how much further we are from going back to that. You call it the Stone Age. We'll call it the Age of Rifles, the rifle age.
But I mean, how many of you guys knew a guy that went to school? I think I was sort of out of this, but had the gun rack, the shotgun gun rack in the back of their windshield.
Parker and Earl,
after school. After school, they go duck hunting or whatever.
We basically had assault rifles in the back of our vehicles because we like.
What's an assault rifle?
A rifle to kill somebody.
A gun that assaults people.
And this is so guns haven't changed.
No, have they become more lethal? No. I don't know none about guns. Have they become more lethal since the 1900s? I mean,
well, 1900s was like 20 years ago.
I know.
No, they haven't.
Okay. Well, then what's changed?
Yes. Look, I don't want to be this guy, but
do it.
When we sit there and glorify video games with people shooting each other, it's hard not to see that as a connection. I mean,
yeah. As someone that likes to play those games, I am. Okay. But
they're like not the game.
No. But the problem is not necessarily the game. The problem is the fact you'll play in these online rooms. I've been playing that game for probably 25 years, however long it's been out.
Mm-hmm.
You'll hear kids talking to you that can barely put together sentences.
Yeah.
That are like 3 and 4 years old. Now they're damn good. I'm not just mad because they blast blast me and take me out, but they've got no business playing those games because they're still trying to understand the connection between the two. It'd be interesting to see how many of these gunmen have gone back when they were extremely young and played those games. You may never find out because they're now dead, but it would be interesting. It'd be an interesting.
Yeah, like this guy's 30, so his entire life he's been,
Grand Theft Auto,
Doom. All they've been around his entire life.
I doubt Doom's been around. Doom's been around. Let me rephrase that. It's been around a whole lot longer. I think kids quit playing it.
Well,
it's more realistic.
I'm talking back to the one on computer. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's where I first played it.
Yeah, me too. And that was a long time ago.
I'm gonna take a not so common approach to this one too. I'm gonna put a spin on this that we're not even thinking about. I don't think. How many of these mass shootings, or of recent times in the last 10 years, those mass shooters were on some type of medication, where possibly some type of antidepressant or something like that, where it affects your mental state. I'm not saying.
Let me ask you to clarify your thought. Are you saying not currently on it, but that they had taken it at some point? Is that what you're saying?
Both.
Or are you saying
both, or any type of medication?
Are you suggesting they needed it, or didn't have it, or are you suggesting that they've taken it?
I'm saying that they have taken it. So some of these drugs that have all these side effects.
Yeah.
So how many people watch commercials and say, "Hey, if you take this drug, here's all." It's so great, but here's all the side effects.
Those bug me. Those commercials, those are the only commercials that I actually end up watching.
But
because I can't figure out what the hell they're talking about, and then it gets to the end and goes, you need this for constipation.
Well, how many of these
doctor.
How many of those drugs do you have to take and then take another drug to cancel out the side effects of that other drug?
Especially if they start giving heart medicine and stuff like that.
I'm not saying that this is causing the issue, but have we not ever looked into this? I'm just saying this could be a potential thing with all these.
It should fall into mental health, but when Big Pharma is paying for everyone, all of these studies.
Yeah, we're going down this road now because it's a pharmaceutical.
Yes.
We got another issue is pharmaceutical companies.
They are.
And it could be the prime issue. Go do a search on the internet about heart disease, okay, and cholesterol. And one reason a lot of people have theories, I mean, this could fall in conspiracy theory, that we're not able to solve the problem is because it's too much money. There's too much money in pharma.
There's no money in the cure.
There's no money in the cure. Cancer, you could argue the same thing about cancer.
There's no money in the cure, but I'm also going to throw I'm going to throw a conspiracy theory out.
Let me see you hit the right button. Oh, no.
No, that's... All right, so...
Let's label it, you see.
So
it's more funny that way.
Everybody who knows about drugs, that'd be approved by the FDA, right? Mm-hmm. The government. That's supposed to protect us.
Well, not all drugs.
Not all drugs, but drugs get approved by the FDA. Yeah. The government supposed to protect them.
Sometimes they get
certain vaccines.
But if you watched recently over the past 20 years, look who's going from the big pharma to the FDA back to the big pharma. The CEOs and not even the CEOs. They work for the FDA. They know what it takes to approve it. They may approve something that.
Well, I mean, not to mention that. I mean, we're all hard pressed to go work for another company in the same industry, and not know people.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have friends that work there,
but you may have an in.
The world is so small when you get into certain things, niches. You don't even realize how small it is. I mean, it's wild. No, that's an interesting take, though, Gary. And these are the type of discussions that have to be had. But instead, we want to talk about other guns.
I think cars kill more people than guns every year.
Well, there's only, I don't want to say only, that's a bad way to say that. But there's roughly 27,000 deaths per year with guns.
We had the number.
Yeah.
I don't have it readily available.
It's mid-20s, something like that.
Well, but that includes suicides.
That includes suicides, police officer. I mean, that's the whole.
How many deaths are prevented with guns? Do we have that number?
No, because they don't track that.
You can't track that.
The NRA throws out some wild number, and I'll be honest, it's hard for me to believe it because it's in their self-interest to have a crazy number. But nobody tracks it.
In 2021, 48,000 people died from gun-related injuries. But but look, probably half of those were in Chicago.
Yeah.
Where it's literally just people shooting people.
Yeah.
For dumb stuff. We got another big news story. This occurred, I think, actually right about the time my last drop on Thursday was made. But in New York City subway, a homeless man was, there's different accounts of it, but he basically was threatening. He had a long history of violence. People on the subway, a Marine individual put him in a chokehold. It appeared he was not intending to end the man's life, but unfortunately he did. And now there are Black Lives Matter protests erupting all over New York City. As of, I believe, the writing of this, the Marine had not been charged with murder, but that's what they're calling for.
Yeah, because he was on the subway threatening people.
Yeah, it wouldn't be murder anyway; it'd be homicide.
Yeah,
and I realize that, but that's splitting hairs. But there's a difference.
Well, it'd be more manslaughter.
Yeah, exactly.
Than murder because it wasn't premeditated.
Yeah.
And there is a video you can find that of this occurring.
And he wasn't the only guy holding this guy back.
There were several people. But here's my questions: how long did this entire altercation last? How long did the guy do a chokehold in before they realized there was a problem? And when they realized their problem, did they try to offer aid?
Yeah, did they try to resuscitate him or anything like that?
And like if they knew there's the issue and they did nothing, then I could see that being a problem.
Yeah, as a Marine, don't they know how to do like CPR and stuff like that? Are you required to know that?
Man, everybody knows how to do CPR.
I mean, yeah, you watch enough videos.
But I mean, it sounds like, from my opinion, from 20,000 feet, somebody was on there acting like a jackass. This guy put him in check, and he inadvertently killed him.
I heard an interesting take on this one too, and I can't even remember. I listened to so many different things, but the question was asked, and this could go into San Francisco, any city. Like, you hear about the food desert. Well, there's a food desert primarily because these people are allowed to go in and steal up to $999 of stuff, and you can't do anything about it other than open the door and say, "Have a nice day, sir." Why do we think poor people and people like this person with mental, why do they get a pass on anything they do?
Because U.S. right now supports victimology.
That's it.
Define victimology for.
You're a victim. You're poor.
So you're not responsible for your actions because you're
anything
a victim.
Because you're poor. You're held down. Something happened to you. Never got back up. American. It's white man's problem. It's everything. We did it. We caused it. We did it.
Yeah.
So he can't be responsible because he's just merely a creation of his environment, which was due to you. Yeah. Due to Gary. Things Gary did.
Everything
when he was in Ohio.
Gary's a POS and just did this to this guy.
The white male. Right now, it's seen as that. Now let's go back. If this was a white male that was held down for being crazy, what do you think would occur?
Oh, it'd be nothing.
It wouldn't make news.
Yeah, it wouldn't make the news.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be a race issue. It should be treated the same. I think there should be. There should be some type of trial of some sort. I do agree there. We do need to see. We gotta get more on the story. I'm not saying it was, but I don't think there should be chaos over it. He was the aggressor.
Man, so many times people want to react without knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
And at this point, nobody cares that they get the reaction.
So apparently that occurred. That actions where the man was choked out occurred on Monday. We didn't really start seeing the news till probably Wednesday, Thursday time frame. Yeah. Well, check this one out. In let me make sure this is right. Tulsa, a homeless man walked up behind someone in a library. A white man shot him in the back of the head. Walks out, goes up the street into I believe a gas station here. Walks up behind another random white man, shoots him in the back of the head, and that occurred April the 18th. And charges now of a hate crime have only come out as of the end of last week, and it's not been in the news anywhere.
Well, they did.
I hadn't heard it.
I mean, but they did come out with. They did charge him with a hate crime.
Yeah, yes.
I think hate crimes are stupid.
I think a crime is a crime.
No, they're saying charged with murder in a possible hate crime.
No, let's just.
So it hasn't been defined as that.
But what is the purpose of a hate crime?
It's a crime.
When you intend to kill someone, not necessarily for their action or something, but merely for
what they look like.
Well, not necessarily what they look like, but
or
for being in some group.
Yeah.
Being in some protected class, I guess.
Well, not even protected class.
I guess that's true in the group.
But I mean, if you murder somebody, I don't think attacking the hate crime is really going to make that big of a difference, is it?
I don't think it should.
Or is it publicity?
I mean, I think really when we talk about hate crimes,
it would be more effective if you assaulted someone.
Yeah, it's more if you assaulted someone, didn't kill them, but assaulted them just because based on their race.
So you're beefing, that would make more sense because you're beefing up their penalty.
Yes, because you're just acting a fool and you're going to do that to other people just because.
I'm going to be way off base, but it seems like all the hate crime, the whole thing from the hate crime stemmed from that young man that was drugged behind a pickup in Texas back 20
Georgia.
years ago.
Oh, no, okay.
Georgia?
Okay, no, you're talking about a different. I was thinking about the two guys that hunted the man down in Georgia.
The guy that was running?
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Those people should have fried for that.
Yeah.
And they did, I guess.
Well, they're in jail forever, I think.
They're in jail forever, basically. There's a new king in town, folks. I know Jamie's still upset and reeling over the death of Mom. But you now have the new king of England, King Charles,
Mr.
was coronated. And baby boy, the one that's been on the outs, he got to go, but he was out in the audience. Did you guys see that?
No,
he wasn't allowed up on the.
Well, they shouldn't allow him up there.
And his wife didn't even show up.
Well, that's
Prince Harry.
Oh, Prince Harry.
Well, I saw a video the other day. You know, she was talking about how she missed her dad, and there's a video came out. Her dad's like, "I'm still alive.
Come see me." It's not like you ain't got the money to buy a plane ticket, or just use your private jet to come see me. You know.
Okay, now that woman has got problems, folks.
Meghan Markle?
Yes.
Oh, poor Meghan.
Poor Meghan. And she's such a... she's like AOC. She's just crazy.
Pretty crazy.
Pretty crazy. Yeah. Speaking of AOC, she and Matt Gaetz have sponsored a bill that would ban congressional members of the House and Senate of owning and trading stocks. It wouldn't necessarily include mutual funds or things like that, but individual stocks.
The one if it extends to any relatives living in the home.
Let's look it up.
Yep, because if I remember, Nancy Pelosi's husband is the one who makes such shrewd business moves.
Shrewd.
And there was a meme I saw of her crying because of the bill. I thought it was great.
I'm gonna guess she does ugly cries.
And apparently he does a lot of home re-improve.
Like a home renovation.
Renovations with his hammers.
Did that guy, whatever come of that guy? I saw a meme going around showing that this guy was at the January 6th
riot. I saw that.
Did you see that as a cameraman? And it looked a lot like that dude. I don't know if that's right.
He's probably at Starbucks later too, just chilling.
Yeah.
I can't really find what it says about family, but Bud Light's got big problems. Look, we're gonna post this probably to TikTok, or I'll try to stick it on the shorts. I was in our local Walmart establishment on a Saturday evening yesterday, or a couple of days ago on Saturday, and Saturday evening around 5:30 p.m. and the beer Coors Light, there was only like 1 12-pack left of Coors Light. All the other beers were well picked over, but one thing there was an abundance of was anything Anheuser-Busch related. The Michelob Ultra, the Bud Light, Budweiser, all of those, the shelves were just completely full. So, local Walmart in West Memphis, Arkansas, can you please expand your Coors Light section and maybe reduce your Bud Light section?
Wow, I mean, really, I was in there Saturday too, and it was wall to wall Anheuser-Busch products and a little sliver for
those were gone and the others remained there. What's going to happen when those things things have a born on date?
Yeah, but I don't think they really. I mean, nobody ever looks at them.
Well, but they claim fresh for like.
I've never grabbed a beer and said, "Oh,"
but aren't they? I have.
Aren't they only fresh for like 120 days?
Yeah, it's not very. They're got short shelf life, or at least from the time they hit the shelf.
So we're coming up on about midway point of that 120 days since this whole controversy occurred, and now. And I haven't been able to confirm this, but there's several news outlets reporting in Chicago that because of Anheuser-Busch's response, the CEO's response last week, he didn't come out and completely...
he didn't apologize or condemn anything.
No, but he said enough that all the gay bars around Chicago decided to ban the sale of Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch products.
Look,
now both sides.
This is what happens when you straddle the fence.
Exactly.
That's what he tried to do.
You get nailed in the crotch. Especially
man. Well, what does the Bible say? I'll spit out lukewarm.
Getting nailed in the crotch?
No. I'll spit out lukewarm water.
Yeah. I mean,
either be hot or cold.
If you're gonna go political, go one way or the other.
You can't. Yeah.
I would respect Budweiser if they say, "Hey, look, we're behind Dylan Mulvaney. We're going with this movement." Blah blah blah. I'd respect that, and I'm sure even the LGBTQ spirit community,
the two spirit community,
yes,
the Alphabet Mafia,
they would respect if they said, "Okay, look, we're only going. We respect the Bible, God, and everything, and blah blah blah. All that stuff going to the right." Hard right side. They would respect that, but they wouldn't buy it. Just like we would respect.
Or here's a very novel idea: just make cans. Yes. Just make cans with Bud Light on it.
Yeah, that's what happens when you take consumer products and go political.
So their sales are down 26% already.
Coors is up 20%. As a matter of fact,
it will be. This is not over, folks. And unfortunately, if now the gay bars of Chicago start doing this, how long until all the other gay bars across the country start doing this? Or once the gay bars start doing it, all of the left-leaning establishments will do the same. Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch, you got a damn problem.
Well, definitely.
A real damn problem.
What was the latest number? That they were down 27% in sales?
So here you go. Molson Coors Beverage, as of March 23rd, they were $49.56 a share.
Uh-huh.
As of Friday they were $65.08 a share. I mean it's 11%, 21% increase is what it is.
So their share numbers are going up?
Oh, this is Coors numbers.
Yeah,
Coors. I'm sorry,
Coors.
I misunderstood.
I thought you were talking about.
I thought you were talking about Anheuser-Busch.
No, this is Coors.
Coors.
Anheuser. And Anheuser, it's weird because their stocks keep jumping up and down, but I think they were trying to pump it.
I think they're. I mean, I don't know anything about stocks. I can't say what the current.
So, if you go 3 month on them, so the same period, March 22nd they were at 61.30 a share, and right now they're at 65 a share, but they're.
I've got a novel idea.
They're dipping. They're going up and down pretty.
You guys remember the GameStop stuff?
Yeah.
A few years ago. That's what people ought to do to Anheuser-Busch stock. Go sell it short.
Yeah.
Push it down, and then let's get it in the short. I guess it'd be the opposite of that, though, wouldn't it? Because they won't do a short squeeze.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure that it's possible to do that. I guess you sell puts and takes. I'm not really good.
Well, it's not the Anheuser-Busch obviously is not an economy issue because the sales that they're missing are going to other like Coors and Miller.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Whatever they're missing, if you look, it's like a mirror.
So
it's going to the other side.
So they keep, exactly. What they're dropping, the
other ones are picking up.
But a lot of people keep saying, Bud Light has been a brand in decline, and it probably has over the long view because, I mean, people are drinking more craft beer now and stuff like that. But it's still the number one selling beer.
It's generational, though. So you have here in the South, people have been drinking it for 40 years, 50 years. Their kids drink it. Their kids see their dad and granddad drinking it.
Yeah, but my kids drink what I drink.
Look, I wouldn't be surprised if one of the first beers I ever drank was a Bud Light. I'm pretty sure it was. I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
I'm confident mine was.
So is Bud Light like member berries? You know, when you drink Bud Light, you remember back to college days and stuff like that. You remember South Park?
See, they need to. Remember. They need to. Look,
you may not like
Gary
it. Gary
may be the best spokesman they could have right now, but Bud Light's like member berries.
They're member berries. Do you remember?
Look, all I know is this guy went from riding to he's like, hey, you want to be CEO of Bud Light? Sure. It's look, this brand has just dominated for years and years and years. All you got to do is make sure you don't screw it up. Womp, womp, womp.
Yeah.
One can, or maybe they
printed
a six-pack of cans.
They didn't even distribute it to the general public.
Hey, it does tell you the reach Dylan Mulvaney has, though. Apparently that joker got something. Don't call him a man. He don't like it. People call him man, but that dude's got a reach.
I wonder what his reach around's like.
Gary's in rare form. He didn't drink alcohol yesterday. Are you drinking alcohol this morning?
Yes, but I only have a slight pour. But when you're talking about reaching, that's all I could go with. I had to let it go.
I still have enough alcohol in me from last night.
I know. I'm trying to speak for Jamie today.
All right. So, look, Jamie sent me this story today. And, look, if you got kids listening, you may want to turn it on. It's not going to talk about
trigger warning
specific things, but it's very troubling. Plainview, Texas, parents protest school after, listen closely, after a first graders allegedly forced girl to perform sex act and recorded on an iPad. So the story, I read through it earlier, and the story is that this kindergartner exposed himself in lunch line to another first grader, which is actually disturbing. As you know, they keep them all in first grade, aren't they all in line like behind their teacher or something?
Yeah, there should be several.
Well, it gets worse. So they had them apparently at a table, and this one little boy forces the girl under the table, exposes himself. Why another first grader is recorded on an iPad for this kid performing an act. There's nowhere does it say that if it actually occurred or not. At least in the article I read. But what's disturbing is that that happened in the first place.
Yes.
I mean, does this go back to morality? What we were talking about
morality.
I don't know. Kid.
So that kid's been exposed to something.
Yes.
Or he doesn't even have an idea of what that is.
And it's hard to blame.
Is it though?
It's hard.
I know where you're headed. Is it hard to blame?
It's hard to blame a 6-year-old. At 6 years old.
No, I thought you were going to say it's hard to blame parents.
No, it is definitely hard to blame parents. It's definitely. It's not hard to blame the parents or the teachers or.
Well, but let's be fair. I mean, For all we know, these are good parents, and the kid just walked in one evening and
saw something, or was exposed,
or watched something on YouTube.
Yeah, you saw something he should have seen.
I mean, you think about those as teachers. So a teacher sees a little girl under a table. There is not an adult that a bunch of first graders. I mean, I'm sure kids crawl under a table barking.
Yeah, that's not going to be your first.
They're picking up a. No, it's not.
Yeah, it's not going to be your first.
All right, so look, if they're under a table, they have an iPad, and if you're going to video it, I'm assuming they have light on because it's dark under there, right? You won't be able to.
Yeah, but is that odd?
It's completely odd. How does someone not see that?
I don't know that's odd. I don't know if it's odd today. All the kids have iPads. All the kids are doing whatever. Kids go under there and they're looking at stuff because they like getting under a table. Is it really that odd to see kids under a table?
No, we go to a restaurant. My kids are climbing the table right now.
That's true, but I mean, is this a real story? That's my question.
It's from multiple real news outlets.
Did AI generate this?
No.
I wish.
No.
I wish it did.
I wish it was, because this just sounds horrible, and I just don't. I mean,
Well, what I need to do too is I need to ask some of my teacher friends that teach lower levels, how easy would it be for something like this to happen with teachers not being aware?
I mean, when I used to go to school, even when I went to public school, not private school. Public school, they had people set around each corner because they scared someone's going to start a fight or something, hit somebody with a tray or whatnot. So they had people. I
want to say, like in first grade, the lower levels, the teacher eats lunch with the kids.
They do. I'm assuming they still do.
Yeah.
Like, this is something you never hope to see in the news. Look, this may be more frequent than anyone ever believes, but porn's more available to kids of all ages.
Oh yeah.
The things that kids can be exposed to simply on their iPad at school. I don't know how well those things are locked down, but they're seeing things at a young age. They're playing these video games. Look, that kid maybe just plays Grand Theft Auto. I mean, if he's allowed to play Grand Theft Auto, there's stuff like that.
I had no clue. Okay.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto, you can, that's pretty hardcore.
Really hardcore.
Note to self: go get Grand Theft
Auto.
Now,
look, this may be a completely dumb story, but I happened across it and had to think of Fortenberry. This person, this is from the Daily Mail. I bought 5 items from the dark web, and you won't believe what I was sent. You ever been to the dark web?
I don't. Not that I know that I've been there. How about that? I mean, how do you know that you've not been there?
I do not know. Well, I do know because I'm going to tell you why. So there is an entirely different interface to get through this dark web.
Oh, so I'm not computer savvy.
One day I just did a search, and you have to use, I think, special software to get to it. But it's supposedly multiple times larger than the internet that we have full access to.
How do you know the dark web doesn't leak into the normal web?
It probably does.
That's what I'm saying. So how do we know we haven't been there?
Let's see.
So what items did they get?
That's what I'm looking for here.
Is there a darker web?
No, that's
a
called
taped up iPhone, a haunted doll.
That's the deep state, Jamie.
He said the dark web is the Wild West, hosting everything and anything. So it's a TikToker has lifted the lid on the Wild West of the dark web after claiming to have found a bizarre yet disturbing array of items. On the surface, Coke cans, iPhones, and KSI's prime drinks are quite ordinary things you can purchase on the internet, but suggest a trip to the darker web may give different results. He's been sent bottles brimming with hot dogs, taped up devices, and even creepy dolls.
Hot dogs?
Yeah, but you can probably buy those on eBay, can't you? Gary, maybe you ought to be selling on the dark web.
Hot dog? Well, I'm missing something.
I mean, are they special hot dogs, or like they got cheese in them or something?
I don't know.
I like.
All I know is if I go to the dark web and order something and find out it's not exactly what they claimed it to be, I'm not probably very surprised.
I mean, when I used to live in Nebraska, I couldn't find any Circle B's anywhere, so I would go on the dark web, got some hot dogs if I need. I mean, it's a sausage, but still.
Yes, it is.
But I mean,
it tastes like.
And they didn't have Poncho's dip either. So you know what? I would have gone to dark web and got some Poncho's dip if I would have known how to do it.
They'd have just sent you some Paul Newman. You'd been mad.
I've been so mad.
Anyway, there's also all the things you expect, like gore and not safe for work content. But I think the most unsettling things I've come across are the huge databases of hacked passwords and bank details. So that's where you find those at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this dude actually found his own data. He's gotten iPhones filled with strange photos and phone numbers. So I guess you can buy stolen phones.
Oh, okay.
Stuff.
I guarantee you on the dark web, you see a lot of people like being tortured or killed or possibly just.
The fact that we really don't know is
it's scary. I mean, how do you know AI is not running the dark web now?
It probably will at some point.
Dude, Allen Iverson gets all these. Well, he must be into some stuff.
Practice. He's just practicing.
AI retires, goes to the Hall of Fame and starts running the dark web.
Dark web. Practicing on the dark web.
We don't need no practice. Let's see. What else is going on in the world today? What else is going on in the world we've been wanting to talk about? Because normally Marty talks so much, we just don't get another second in.
Now, I saw this, and I don't know if it's true or not. So, obviously, the story hasn't broke yet. They're saying that the new mayor-elect of Chicago is wanting to provide marijuana to the homeless. They said that way they can save their money.
I mean, so the government's paying for the marijuana. So I find.
Well, they are anyway.
I mean, it's still a federal crime for marijuana.
I had one more story I wanted to talk to. It is federally, but most localities are not. But I'm not sure drugs can even be controlled. We got one more story I want to talk about. We didn't get into this a second ago. I meant to get to it. Joe Biden. There's a lot of talk that that there's a huge case built against Hunter. Surprise, surprise. No one is surprised by this. I mean, look, that guy's lived a life like no other. There's going to be a movie about him someday, and it's going to be absolutely unbelievable what went on with Hunter Biden. He should sell the rights now and just go on to make another few $1 million. But there's talk Joe Biden's planning to pardon his son if charges are dropped. But how does a pardon work? Does it work after they're found guilty? You can't pardon somebody till they're found guilty.
Correct, and I mean you can't. I don't think you can pardon them for any future crimes.
Now, it seemed like, well, I thought one president did. Was it Bill Clinton who pardoned everybody associated with Whitewater or something like that, including any future things that were found?
I don't know. I don't know how you can pardon somebody for something that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. Well, so is that like I don't know. Is that the golden ticket?
Well, I guess it is. But I mean, in Biden's state of mind, he might mess around and pardon Tory Hunter. Just get the complete wrong person.
Check this
Tory,
out.
are you talking about the baseball player?
Yeah, he'll get confused and pardon.
He is a good center fielder.
He's from Pine Bluff.
The president.
Yeah, he is.
Check that. So the president can issue a pardon at any point after a crime is committed and before, during, or after criminal proceedings have taken place. Okay. No. After a crime is committed and before, during, or after criminal proceedings have taken place.
Okay. Proceedings. Okay. So he can't pardon him for.
He cannot pardon someone for future crimes.
For impregnating
so a president can pardon him before he's ever brought to trial.
But so here's the thing though, to pardon him, we'll have to know what his crimes are, what he's done.
Well, he'll figure out a way to term it, but he'll have to do it this year too. He cannot wait until the start of 2024 to do it.
Is this not the ultimate collusion?
Absolutely, yeah.
Hey, son, go make us a lot of money, and I'll become president, and I'll pardon you for everything you did.
Or somebody will.
Yeah, but if there's more crimes tied to the initial crime, then he can't be pardoned for those.
He's going to put a blanket statement.
Not the way he read that. Because you can pardon him for a crime.
He would have to stop. He would have to. Well, you can pardon him for if they say like anything associated with Hunter Biden and Ukraine, or China. He can say that, but he would have to stop in his tracks. I mean, he's done, but shoot, he's made so much money. He doesn't have to worry about
if they find anything else in the process, he could be charged with that.
Did you hear about his adjusted gross income on his taxes from like 2015 to 2016? It went from like $450,000 to like $12 million in 1 year. Joe Biden did. That's insane.
The fact that it's $450,000 is insane.
Yeah, but I don't turn. What is like at that time he was vice president, was he not?
What year?
2015. I think it was 2015, 2016 years.
Well, the president's what, 250,000?
I don't sound right. So I think it's 400,000. So president's 400,000.
So with Joe Biden, I'm sure she is working. So yeah, I mean 450,000 is not crazy.
No.
Salary for vice president 235.
235 for vice.
But I'm sure they followed jointly.
Yeah, she's 200, so it makes sense.
That makes sense, but 12 million doesn't.
Well,
yeah, but hold up, they make more money out of office. speaking engagements and.
Like through the stock market because they know exactly.
Well, that yes, but like the Clintons, I mean, like basically Hillary gets like $1 million a speaking engagement
at least.
Yeah,
probably more. I mean, you think about that just to hear us talk. We're gonna get there someday. Look, that's all I got, folks. I'm gonna play us out unless y'all got something else to talk about. How about some parting words over there, Gary? We'll be back in studio.
Drink local. Let's do that.
Let's do it.
Don't worry. Yeah.
Father Fortenberry.
Try not to drink too much.
But local, though.
Hey, folks, look, we hope to have all of us back in studio for the next drop on Thursday. So welcome back, DW and Marty. I'll be back in studio. But until then, drink local and go like us, follow us, subscribe.
Triple tap.
Take my picture down from the courthouse wall. I'm living in the clouds and I ain't gonna fall. Somebody done saved this outlaw.